The first glimpse of Hydra System 7 left the crew of Aegis breathless. From orbit, the planet shimmered like a giant jewel, vast oceans of cobalt blue, jagged icebergs glinting under twin suns, and storm-laden clouds roiling in violent patterns. But beauty here was a deadly lure. Intelligence reports had warned them. The Acor Dominion controlled this planet, armed with Hydra weapons capable of disintegrating organic matter within seconds. Captain Elara Kain stood on the bridge, her hands gripping the railing as the first alert pinged. "They're moving," she said, her voice steady, cutting through the low hum of the ship. Sensors displayed multiple energy signatures converging across the northern ocean basin. The alien warships glided over the waves with unnatural precision, each hull bristling with hydro cannons. Lieutenant Marr, her tactical officer, exhaled sharply. "They're faster than predicted, Captain. We don't have the firepower to engage head-on." Elara turned sharply, eyes narrowing. "Then we don't engage." "Not yet. We survive, observe, and adapt. That's what they've underestimated. Humans survive the impossible." A transmission crackled from a reconnaissance drone skimming the planet's surface. Its camera feed showed crystalline towers rising from the oceans, hydro weapon launch platforms, sleek and shimmering with the alien technology. Before anyone could react, a piercing beam shot across the water, vaporizing a pod of human drones mid-flight. The bridge shook as the blast reverberated through Aegis. "Damn it!" Marr exclaimed. "Their weapons are lethal. Entire drones, gone in seconds." Elara's jaw tightened. "And that's why we're not standard targets. We don't run. We think. We survive." She paused, scanning her crew's faces. Fear was natural, but hesitation here meant death. "I need volunteers for a surface team. We're going to see what makes these weapons tick." A chorus of murmurs met her words. Science Officer Dr. Lien stepped forward, eyes wide with determination. "Captain, it's suicide. The hydro weapons, one miscalculation and—" "We survive because we adapt," Elara interrupted. "I know the risks, Lien. But sitting in orbit, we'll only watch our people die. We need answers, and answers require courage." Two volunteers stepped forward beside Dr. Lien. Elara nodded. "Good. You'll descend with the drone carriers. Observe, gather samples, and report back. Precision and speed, our lives depend on it." The descent was tense. Aegis's landing pods cut through storm clouds, rain lashing against reinforced shields. Waves towered like liquid mountains below, threatening to swallow the craft. Below, the alien launch platforms gleamed ominously, each one a monument to human fragility. Elara's heart pounded. Not from fear, but anticipation. Humans had endured worse, survived harsher environments, and adapted to impossible odds. That was their edge. But even she felt the weight of the unknown pressing against her chest. On the surface, the team moved cautiously. Alien patrols glided above the water, sensors scanning for intruders. Lien deployed a scanning device near one of the crystalline towers. The readings spiked immediately, energy concentrations far beyond human design. "These weapons," Lien whispered, awe and horror mixing in his voice. "They're alive, almost responsive. One touch and—" "Then don't touch," Elara said sharply. "Observe. Record. Understand." Hours passed in tense silence, punctuated by distant energy bursts. Then, a sudden alarm, an automated alien turret detected movement. Hydro cannons powered up, streams of liquid energy arcing toward the humans. Elara shouted, "Move! Now!" The team dove behind a ridge of jagged rock. A torrent of blue plasma struck the ground where they had just stood. Water sizzled, vapor rising in thick clouds. Panting, Lien stared at the weapon. "They're indestructible by conventional means. Nothing we have can stop it." Elara crouched beside him, eyes scanning the horizon. "Then we find another way. There's always another way." She touched the edge of the weapon's casing cautiously. Sensors registered faint chemical signatures, unusual, almost organic. A thought struck her. If these are biological, maybe there's a weakness we can exploit. Mar frowned. You're suggesting what? Using their own weapons against them? Elara's gaze hardened. Not yet. First, we understand them. If we survive today, we learn how to survive tomorrow. And tomorrow, we fight smart, not blind. As night fell over the oceans, the team returned to the landing pods, their minds racing with observations. Each step on the water-slick rocks reminded them how fragile humans seemed. Yet, in their fragility, a spark of defiance burned. They were not designed to dominate the galaxy, yet they survived against monsters that should have crushed them. Back aboard Aegis, the crew gathered in the strategy room. Lien displayed the chemical analyses. These weapons are water-based, yes, but more than that. There's a biological component, reactive to exposure. I've never seen anything like it. Elara leaned over the table. Reactive how? We don't know, Lien admitted. It could kill us, or it could be controlled. Mar scoffed. Controlled? You mean humans drinking their own annihilation? Elara's gaze swept the room. Fear makes the strong hesitate. And hesitation here means death. We adapt or we die. That's what sets us apart. Humanity doesn't just survive, it learns, evolves, overcomes. The first night on Hydra System 7 was a restless one. Alerts pinged intermittently as alien patrols moved above the oceans. Elara stared at the glowing expanse outside the viewport. In the vastness of the planet, against impossible odds, she realized one truth: survival would demand everything they had. Courage, ingenuity, and a willingness to face the fear no other species dared to touch. And somewhere in the shimmering ocean depths, the hydro weapons waited, silent, lethal, and untested against humans. The first sip tasted like ice and fire at once. Captain Elara Kain held the vial steadily, watching her crew hesitate around her. The hydro weapon's liquid shimmered, deceptively calm in its small container. Every instinct screamed danger. This was the weapon that had disintegrated drones, soldiers, and ships alike. Yet, this risk was humanity's only path forward. Are we sure about this? Lieutenant Mar asked, voice low, eyes flicking between Elara and the glowing blue liquid. Elara's gaze didn't waver. We survive because we adapt. Every species has limits. Humans break theirs. She tilted the vial and swallowed in one controlled motion. A shiver ran through her, burning down her throat. Her stomach clenched, then relaxed. Her vision sharpened. The strange, alien chemical didn't kill her, it coursed through her system, altering something fundamental. Dr. Lien went next, his hand trembling. If this kills me, you'll learn more than any human has ever learned about survival, Elara said. The words had weight. Conviction was contagious. Slowly, the rest of the team followed, each sip a calculated gamble. Minutes stretched into tense silence. Sweat beaded on brows, hearts raced, muscles tensed. Then, one by one, the crew's reactions stabilized. The initial nausea faded, replaced by heightened perception. Reflexes sharpened. The hydro weapon's liquid, designed to destroy, had interacted with human biology in ways the aliens never intended. Mar blinked, astonished. I feel different. Stronger. Faster. Elara nodded, voice steady but urgent. Good. That's the beginning. But immunity is not victory. We test, observe, and control it. One misstep, and it kills us. Their first field test came sooner than expected. A patrol of alien skimmers swooped over their temporary camp near the ocean's edge. Hydro cannons ignited, arcs of liquid death streaking toward them. The crew, now partially resistant, dodged with unnatural precision. The streams of energy struck the ground harmlessly where they had been moments before. Lien's eyes widened. It's working. We can survive direct hits. Elara's lips curved into a faint smile. Then we push further. Knowledge isn't power until we act. They moved to infiltrate a nearby enemy outpost, a crystalline tower rising from the ocean like a frozen spear. The surface was slick with alien energy fields, but the human team advanced with careful coordination. Sensors revealed storage of hydro weapons in smaller vials, stacked for deployment. "Look at this," Lien whispered, scanning the containers. "If we reverse engineer it, we might amplify its effects, on us, not them." Mar shook his head. "We're already bending biology. How much more can we push?" Elara's eyes were sharp. "Limits exist to be tested. One step at a time. Every moment we hesitate, the enemy strengthens." Their extraction was tense. Alarms blared as patrols closed in, sensing the intrusion. Hydro cannons fired indiscriminately, a wall of lethal liquid racing toward the humans. But they moved differently now, faster, more precise. A cannon's arc struck the rock beside Mar. He barely flinched, the liquid evaporating harmlessly in a hiss. From the tower, a transmission echoed, distorted and sharp. The voice was unmistakable, Lord Zyrek. "Humans, you play with fire you cannot control. You will drown in it, and I will laugh." Elara responded without hesitation. "Fire doesn't burn what is already tempered. We learn. We endure. And we win." The alien's fury was immediate. Skimmers accelerated, attempting to cut off the human escape route. But the humans, guided by enhanced reflexes and careful strategy, darted between patrols. Each encounter taught them more about the hydro weapons' limits, their own emerging resistance, and the tactical advantage of daring where others would perish. Back on the landing pods, the team regrouped. Lien's analysis had already begun. "The liquid triggers a molecular adaptation in humans. We're not just immune, we're altering our own biology to withstand energy streams that would vaporize a standard human. The potential, it's unprecedented." Mar ran a hand through his hair, still uneasy. "Unprecedented means unpredictable. How do we know it won't kill us tomorrow?" Elara's gaze was steady. "We won't. But that's the essence of survival. Predictable species die. Humans thrive in uncertainty. That's our edge." Nightfall brought reflection. The ocean roared outside the pods, waves reflecting the twin suns' fading light. Crew members were exhausted, but excitement mingled with fear. They had faced the weapon, drunk it, and survived. That simple act, one the aliens would have considered unthinkable, had shifted the balance. A private moment in the observation deck brought Elara face to face with Mar. "Do you regret it?" she asked softly. Mar shook his head. "No. Terrified, but no. We're different now." "Yes," she said quietly, eyes fixed on the horizon. "Different, yes. Dangerous to them, unstoppable for us, if we choose to be." Meanwhile, Zyrek's flagship loomed in orbit, unseen but sensed. The warlord's anger was palpable, a pulse of alien wrath that reverberated across the oceans. His sensors detected anomalies, humans surviving what should have been fatal. Something had changed. And he would discover, soon enough, that underestimating humans was a mistake no alien had survived more than once. In the quiet of their temporary camp, the human team celebrated little victories, knowledge gained, immunity tested, strategies forming. They were no longer prey. They were a force the Acquar Dominion had never anticipated, resilient, inventive, and fearless in ways that no alien weapon could predict. Elara watched her crew, the glow of determination reflected in each face. "We've survived the first trial," she said. "The real challenge comes next. We will not just endure, we will turn fear into advantage." And somewhere, far above the oceans, the hydro weapons waited, their lethal potential unchanged, except for one fatal miscalculation: humans were drinking the enemy's fear, and surviving. The storm-swept oceans of Hydrosystem 7 churned violently, reflecting the twin suns' harsh light in jagged, silver streaks. Captain Elara Kain stood on the deck of Aegis, gripping the railing as the alien fleet approached. Their hydro cannons shimmered in the distance, ready to annihilate anything in sight. But humanity had a secret the Acquar Dominion could not predict: their own weapons, now rendered powerless against human biology. "Captain," Mar said, scanning the tactical display, "they've formed a blockade across the northern straits." Any direct approach is suicide. Elara's eyes narrowed. Then we don't go direct. We exploit their arrogance. They expect humans to flinch. We'll turn their precision against them. The plan was audacious. Using microdoses of hydro weapons, the crew would enter the battlefield fully exposed, allowing the enemy to fire freely while humans endured the streams of lethal liquid unharmed. Every strike would be studied, mapped, and eventually mirrored back at the aliens with tactical precision. Dr. Lien monitored vital signs, ensuring the crew's physiology remained stable. Captain, the adaptation is holding, but prolonged exposure could destabilize the nervous system. We must move quickly. Elara nodded. Then we fight fast. One step at a time. The pods descended, slicing through the storm clouds. The humans advanced like shadows across the glowing ocean, dodging and weaving through arcs of liquid energy. Each hit they endured only sharpened their instincts. Every brush with annihilation refined their coordination. Adjust formation, Elara commanded. Left flank, mirror their trajectory. Right flank, anticipate their next salvo. We strike where they least expect. The first collision with Zyrek's skimmers was chaos, a blur of blue energy and human resolve. Unlike the alien pilots, the humans did not panic. They danced through the deadly streams, gathering crucial data on weapon timing, arc, and velocity. By the third wave, they were no longer dodging blindly, they were controlling the battlefield. On board Zyrek's flagship, the warlord's eyes glinted with fury. Impossible, he growled. Humans should be ash. Every attack calculated, yet they endure. They drink death itself. Elara pressed forward, deploying small, stealth pods armed with countermeasures. These pods fired precision vials of hydro-weapon liquid back toward the alien fleet, turning the Dominion's own technology into a trap. Skimmers erupted in controlled chaos, energy streams bouncing unpredictably, striking the aliens' formations. Mars shouted over the comms. It's working! Their formations are breaking! Elara's voice was calm, sharp. Hold the line. Keep moving. Every strike we survive, every weakness we exploit, brings us closer to their command center. The humans pushed into the heart of the enemy fleet. Waves crashed over reinforced hulls, yet no hydro stream touched them. Zyrek, realizing the full scope of human adaptation, activated a new weapon, a massive, pulsating orb of liquid energy, designed to dissolve entire ships. Brace yourselves! Elara ordered. The orb descended, a towering column of alien power. Every human team member swallowed another microdose of hydro liquid. The effect was immediate, a surge of resilience, reflexes heightened beyond normal human limits. They dove, twisted, and redirected the orb's energy into the ocean, neutralizing its destructive force and sending a shockwave toward the alien skimmers. In the chaos, Elara's boarding team launched directly onto Zyrek's flagship. They moved swiftly through corridors of pulsating liquid conduits, encountering minimal resistance. Most alien soldiers had been caught in the redirected energy blasts. Finally, Elara confronted Zyrek in the control chamber. The warlord towered above her, a menacing silhouette against glowing energy panels. You dare enter my domain? He hissed. I dare survive yours, Elara replied evenly. Your weapons were designed to destroy, yet here we are, unbroken. Zyrek lunged, hydro energy crackling from his limbs. Elara dodged with practiced precision, her body reacting to every pulse of lethal liquid. The fight was both physical and psychological. Every strike Zyrek landed tested her endurance. Every taunt measured human resolve. You are insignificant, Zyrek spat. Your biology is weak. Not weak, Elara countered, landing a precise strike to destabilize the energy conduit feeding his weapons. Adaptable. Resilient. Unpredictable. With a final calculated maneuver, she severed the conduit. The flagship's hydro cannons overloaded, discharging in a chaotic wave that disabled the majority of the alien fleet without harming humans. Zyrek fell to his knees, stunned. Elara's voice echoed through the chamber. This is what happens when you underestimate humans. We survive the impossible, and we turned fear into advantage. The battle ended in a stunned silence. Survivors from both sides watched as the humans emerged unscathed, standing tall among wreckage that had once promised their destruction. Zyrek retreated, vowing revenge, but the Aqua Dominion's grip on Hydra System 7 had been shattered. On the ocean's surface, the Aegis and its crew regrouped. Cheers were cautious, tempered with exhaustion and reflection. They had survived, but more than survival, they had demonstrated the essence of humanity, ingenuity, courage, and relentless adaptation. Mar approached Elara. "Captain, we did it! Against every possible prediction." Elara's gaze swept across the horizon. "We did more than survive, Mar. We proved that fear is a weapon only until you confront it. Humans don't just endure, they redefine the limits of what's possible." Dr. Lien joined, holding a vial of the hydro liquid. "Captain, with careful study, we could use this to safeguard humanity across the system. Immunity is just the beginning." Elara nodded, eyes hard and clear. "Then that's our next mission. We don't stop here. Survival brought us this far, but humanity, our ingenuity, our courage, will take us further." As the twin suns dipped below the horizon, casting the oceans in molten gold, the crew of Aegis understood a truth no alien could have predicted: humans were not prey. They were a force defined by resilience, audacity, and an unyielding will to survive. The hydro weapons that once inspired terror were now a testament to human adaptability, and a warning to all who underestimated them. In the quiet aftermath, as waves lapped against battered hulls, Elara whispered to herself, "We drink fear, we endure fire, and we rise, because that is what it means to be human." The battle was over, but the story of humanity's defiance had only begun.